guys, Wolfie here with a Decidio Final Fantasy Opera Omnio Global video for the 14th of October 2019. This is going to be a pretty lengthy video, and I do want to clarify something from the future with the game video. The clarification is as follows. I'm going to be doing a little bit more videos with opinion-based twang into it, meaning that who I feel is going to need a rework, predictions on where the rework could go if it comes for certain characters, top this, top that, and that sort of thing. Some that are more based on me having to express my opinion on that. So when it comes down, well, I'm going to be taking a break from in regards to that, in the sense of the content is going to be new stuff, being that the stuff that's coming up. So I'm just going to do a little bit more opinionated stuff. I may go back into putting videos up with polls, all that stuff. That's a play by ear. I may do some actual gameplay. I actually have a couple of videos on that already. But anyway, just want to do a quick clarification on that. Like I said, this is a pretty lengthy video. We have quite a bit to go over. Some old, some new, all that sort of thing. And at the end of this video is going to be my thoughts and opinions on everything. So we're just going to jump straight into it. So we're going to go over a few banners. I do have a report on some of this stuff. So we're going to start off with the Alphinaud draw. I'm going to go into the report on this. I actually used some tickets. I was planning on holding off until Realm shows up, but something told me that I actually had to... Something told me that I actually had to get into this banner because I had a rather high number of tickets and my guild stash is at close to max. So to recap quickly, you have the introduction of the EX weapon for Ida alongside the 15 and 35 CP weapons for Alphinaud, Ida, and Celeste. And some people are wondering why Celeste is part of this is synergy for this particular banner. Believe it or not, and I actually fought off the glow lizards. They deal magic damage. And what more fitting tank to have for this than Celeste? Hint, hint. So anyway, I did some tickets on this particular banner. Like I said, my ticket stash was getting kind of high. And I wound up getting both the EX weapon for Ida and the 35 CP weapon for Alphinaud, which is freaking good, to say the least. It's like, okay, I got this on tickets. I actually MLB and maxed out his 15 CP weapon ahead of time, and by that, the tickets that came beforehand, so I threw in some tickets. Like I said, I was getting kind of high in regards to the ticket stash, so yeah, so this is pretty good on there. It's, and like I said, I had to get rid of some because of Realm showing up in sense of her lost chapter, and Realm, I am definitely pulling on that, by the way. So that's it on that. We're going to go into some character adjustments. So this is for Locke, Aerith, and Ace. So I'm just going to, whenever I pause for these characters, it's pretty much, the emphasis is going to be the writing in red. So little FYI. So the first one up here is Locke. So I'm just going to, do a stop, but you guys can read along. This is Aerith. And I do want to point out with Aerith here, she does have the those certain passives that she needs to really stay afloat. Now, I do want to point out here with the Charged Healing Wind Boost All, you get one use of Healing Wind, and you also have a max bravery for the party raise by 15%. So the ideal situation for Aerith here is he had to have 3 copies of both of these passes. That's not only an opinion, it's also fact. And now this is Ace. So that is that on the character adjustments. There actually was one more, and that's for Ida. But for some reason, they removed Ida's rework information. I do want to point out that she does get a couple of uses of Snap Punch. And by that, a couple more uses. And I do know there is some Max Brave Overflow. I forgot the exact percentages, so... And unfortunately, they kind of removed it after the maintenance, so... I'm not so sure why they did that, so that's a little FYI. Okay, so now we're going to go into the Start Dash Draw. We got here, also have here, the Autumn Festival campaign. But before we get into all of that, see here if I find something interesting to talk about. Here we go. We have here there are three bundle sales of sorts. We have the return of the alternate costume for Ace. We have the debut of the alternate costume for Noel and the Festive Gem Sale 1. So with the Ace one, you guys kind of know what's going on there. It's the costume plus 9,000 gems. I'm actually skipping it because I already have the costume. And for me, it's just I'm just wasting my money on a costume that I already have. With Noel, right now, I'm skipping it. However, I may get it before the end. Well, it's a bit of a play by ear on that one. Now we're going to go into the Festive Gem Sale 1. This is kind of similar to the 7-day sales for bundles like this in the past, including and by the 7 days, the ones for the new character events. So we're going to go down here real quickly. I'm just going to stop it right here for right now so you guys can see what's going on. Now this is a little bit different, similar but also different for these particular bundles, where the 7-day ones you see the certain things here going on with like armor tokens and the chocobo tail feathers with the gems. Then for the more expensive ones, now they have different varying amounts of power stones alongside it. So that's a little FYI. I may go after these. I don't know as of yet. And like I said, I only speak for myself because I am paid to play. FYI. So that's that on that. We're going to get into Act 2, Chapter 5, Will of the Hunters. This is the, they are re-releasing the Locke's character event up to the level 50 difficulty. So this is the global debut of Noel Christ from Final Fantasy 13-2. There's also a limited time event in the main story, and this is just in normal mode, mind you. So the thing is here, if you complete Act 2, Chapter 5 only in normal mode within the couple of weeks after it's released, you get here 200 high yellow shards and 100 of the high yellow crystals. So that's that on that. In order to get to Act 2, 5, you gotta clear Act 1, Chapter 1 in normal mode. This is Noel right here. He is from 13-2. He is of the other weapon class with the yellow crystal infinity as hinted. This is the 15 CP weapon you get upon clearing Act 1, Chapter 1 in normal mode. And yeah. And this is also in the Power Token Exchange. We're going to take a quick look at the command ability details. Got Tempest Strike and Gale Fang. This is Tempest Strike. A base use count of 7. This is what it does. It's an Ice and Wind Element Brave and HP attack. This is the level 55 Crystal Passive Extension. And this is Gale Fang. This is a 4-hit melee Brave and HP attack. Grants 1 level of Last Hunter. 1 level of Last Hunter to self for 3 turns. Limit 3 levels. You gotta think Vayne in this regard, in a sense. This is the level 60 Crystal Passive Extension. So, little FYI. This is Shaving Slash. This is the Crystal Strength level 65 passive. It reduces target's Brave to half. Unleashes melee Brave. Slightly increases his own attack for 2 turns. This is the level 70 Crystal Passive Extension. And the Last Hunter, what this does, this buff in particular, raises max bravery, attack, and defense. Got that. This is the whole treasure hunting bit that's being re-released. This is Noel's 90 CP armor. You gotta think of Fang from Final Fantasy 13 Trilogy here in a way, because you have here what it does, and then you have here the Bloomstone. So that's that on that. And let's see here first. Let's see here, we got the Start Dash campaign. See here. So this is we have here the Start Dash draw. Like I said, I do have a report on this. The Start Dash draw is one of the 2 triple EX banners going on right now for me. Although this one's going to end in my case in a few days. So this only lasts for 7 days. And the first multi is for free. And this for those of you who are veteran players that already completed the following mission, equip an ally with a weapon, you get this for free for the first multi for free for 7 days. Now, it depends on when you started the game. If you're a veteran, you're already completed. It's the 10th through the 17th of October, UTC time zone wise. And for newer players, it's like you had to do that particular mission first, the equip with a weapon, before doing the free multi. So you have here the Start Dash special missions in EXO Power Token Exchange. I'm going to do a separate video on that. So this is what you have to do when it gets to the EX Power Tokens. Like I said, you have to do your first 5 dailies. Then you have to do... So your first 5 daily missions, you gotta wait till about 2 a.m. UTC, which is 9 p.m. Central over here where I'm at, or 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Mountain. So, your local time zones, do your first 5 dailies after you log in, then you have to do another 5 at the equivalent of the 2 a.m. UTC for your time zone. So, this is pretty much who's going to be, like I said, all that stuff. So, the Start Dash daily missions here. So, this is on top of the 5 dailies. So, when it comes to this part right here, this is on top of what we have going on right now with the first 5 dailies. This is a Cycle Quest Rewards times 2. This is the World of Illusions Carbuncle's Treasure. So this is for those who need to level up Stealth and Chocobo as Espers. This is half the SP cost. So all that good stuff. This is Mog's Gym. This is still going on. So that's down there. I do have a report for the Start Dash campaign banners. See if they have anything here. So I do have a report on this. Again, this is a triple EX weapon banner. Here's the EX weapon banner. EX weapons, my bad. EX weapons for Squall from Final Fantasy VIII. Cloud from Final Fantasy VII, and Lightning from the Final Fantasy 13 trilogy. I did my free pull, and like I said, the whole thing with Alphinaud, I actually had to use some tickets because my ticket stash was starting to get a little bit high, and I'm not so sure what the cap is for the tickets, but I used some tickets to free up some space, and I actually got Cloud's EX weapon. That was the only weapon I was missing. So it was a bit of a surprise, and it took the game long enough to grant me Cloud's EX weapon. Like I said, it was the only one that I was missing. So that's that on that. We're going to get into the Level 70 Awakenings Part 3. And this is kind of like following JP's model to the letter now. And this is going to be the 70 Awakenings for the following: Aerith from Final Fantasy VII, Locke from Final Fantasy VI, Ace from Final Fantasy Type 0, and Sarah from the Final Fantasy 13 trilogy. So we're just going to go scroll all the way down to the Bloomstones real quickly. So these are the Bloomstones for the following characters. So I'm just going to do this. This one's for Locke. This one is for Aerith. This one is for Sarah. And this one is for Ace. And the one I like the most out of the four is actually Sarah's, because I was actually using it in the co-op for the raid. And she actually has a way to deal overflow damage with her EX ability. And provided you have to have at least one turn of this remaining. So this is really good for Sarah, in my personal opinion. So that's that on that. We're going to get into the Calamity Unleashed Blanket Will Raid. So we're going to get into the event information on that. So this is one of those, it's like you do both individual missions and missions to help the community here. So you have all this good stuff. You have some bloom tokens, all that. Yeah, I guess all that good stuff, including the bloom tokens, bloom fragments. And I do want to point out, when it comes to awakening waves, this is the way you go after things like the bloom fragments, the bloom stones, all that good stuff. So it also mentions here, also starting with this event, a special torsion may appear on the Act 2 world map after clearing Act 2 5 in normal mode. So this is why it is important to clear Act 2 5 normal within a certain time frame, because this is not one of those, it's like you have all the time in the world to clear it. This is something entirely different from before. And I do recommend for everybody to clear Act 2 5 in normal mode, because this is a great way to get additional resources, all that good stuff. And it says here, obtaining certain items. I'll show off certain things later on in this video. And it mentions here, this special torsion is permanent and will still be available after the raid event. Always good. So we're going to skip the raid stuff here. We have the Calamity Unleashed quest. So this is all the difficulties of each item. Blah. I can barely talk today, folks. So you have your intermediate, which is level 40, expert co-op, level 70, EX missions. So it tells you what you need to clear in order to unlock whatever. This is Blackened Will, so this is weak to win when its HP gets low. Blackened Will use the ability Recurrent Light to strengthen itself. This is an invincible aura. And I do want to remind, I did a video on this already. However, I had some really incorrect information in the last one, so I'm like, I might as well refilm this. So what it does here is, it's an invisible aura. It strengthens itself. So a little FYI. Black will always unleash group HP attacks after using recurrent life, so bring characters that can restore your party's HP. This is actually incorrect in some cases, because sometimes they use the Black will use recurrent life sometimes, but they don't always get into that group HP attack right away afterwards. So it's a little error on the game, and this is from some of the times I've actually went out after it. So since its defense is high, exploit its weaknesses, and use attacks that ignore defense to effectively chip away at its bravery at certain difficulties. And by that, not the cosmos difficulties, but the ones like the slightly easier ones. You can actually bring units like Rydia and Lulu into the equation because both of those units have means to ignore defense. So, it's a couple of notable non-synergy units, but like I said, not for the Cosmos, but for like the EX or the Expert Co-op. So a couple of notable units, Lulu, Rydia, because they both have ways to ignore defense, although theirs is tied to an element. So, individual event missions, so this is it right here. This is the additional daily mission details. This is the, like I said, you have to do your first five missions, and then you have to do another 5 later on the day, so that's a quotation mark. So in this case, for this additional missions here, you only have here, this is any level, this is really good. I like this. This is the artifact mission details, so for each character, you get their Idosha artifact via those gold tokens. You get 200 gems, so it's 1,200 gems altogether for this. This is collaborative event missions. This is the quote-unquote beatback. And this is the boosted character event mission details. So it used to cap off at 10,000. However, because of the Autumn Festival campaign, it's doubled. So that's just a little bit of an FYI here. So when it comes to pull or pass for certain banners, I'm actually excluding the free multi. So that's that on that. This is the event, the raid banner here. This is a triple EX banner like the Start Dash. This debuts the EX weapon for Aerith from Final Fantasy VII and the return of the EX weapons for Ace and Sarah. So what Fury Brand does, I'm just going to scroll down here real quickly. This grants bravery to party based on her attack stat. This is one of those, the higher her attack, the more bravery the party gets. Grants ancient lineage to self for 3 turns. Brave attack and its +4 become brave attack ++. The HP attack, same shit, becomes HP attack ++. But this is while ancient lineage is active. And the thing is with the HP attack ++, it has an overflow of up to 120%. The infrared buff here says it raises party's attack amount stolen mate of bravery may exceed max. This does not stack with buffs of the same type. Now, with this particular EX weapon, if you have it limit broken 2 out of 3, any attacks will not reduce HP below 1, while her own HP is at least half of max. So this is one of those, if you get it, you need it 2 out of 3 minimum. So we're going to go into certain aspects of the actual gameplay, because I do want to point something out really quickly and very importantly. So we're going to go straight into Act 2 5.8. This is the permanent origin aspect. Oh, you guys get an actual treat right now. You guys get to see some actual gameplay. Whoop whoop. So we're going to get into this. This, I believe, is Dark Knight Cecil. Okay. So, we're going to take in Dark Knight Cecil. So, you're going to be seeing me shutting up for a minute or two. Because that way, you guys get to see some actual gameplay. Yay! So in this particular aspect, it says 5.8-4-1 impediment part 4.1. It's a bit of a mouthful. I'm like, yeah, no way. So you guys get to see all this good stuff. And I'm going to take in, who do I want to take in? Oh, I'm going to take in Pain. That's my girl. So, in these particular fights, and this is not even hard mode, so we're going to see why I'm doing this particular gameplay once we are done. Now you notice here that I don't have a weapon for Cecil, and by that, the Dark Knight Cecil, so we're gonna do this. Like I said, I just love this ability Sarah has for her Crystal Strength level 65. I just love it. So I'm gonna do this. So I'm gonna do this sensor. Gonna do all boost up. Because that's a boost to max bravery. Now I'm going to swap out Cecil for Pain. God, I love her. God, I love her. The gods know I freaking love her. Now I'm going to do this. There you have it, folks. Now you're going to see why I did this in the midst of recording, spur of the moment. You'll see why. So you'll notice here on my screen, you see there's nothing here. Because where this treasure chest is, it was at these 3 other spots. So you have here Warrior Light. I'm going to point this out really quickly. This one was Warrior Light. This one right here is Furion. And this one right here is Undead Knight. So now we know that all these 4 had their special type of weapons. So what's over here in this particular treasure chest? You're probably asking. So if I go here, we get this is Flickering Dark Knight's Great Sword. So basically when it comes down to those Dark Mannequin weapons, this is actually where you're getting them. And this is in normal mode. So we do know there is a normal and hard, but you actually get these in normal mode, and it's recommended to get them in normal mode because you just don't want to get these in hard mode. You really don't. Because in order to do show anything as cleared, you need to get it in normal mode. So this right here is the Flickering Dark Knight's Great Sword. So we're going to do a long press to see what this does. So this is all that good stuff. So what these particular weapons do is that they boost certain things with your first 2 skills. And I'm going to, so we're going to do that. So we're going to go into the enhancement menu here. So I'm going to show off, let's see here. Actually, not the enhancement, but let me get to one of my, here we go. This is the one I was looking for. So I'm going to press on my Warrior or Light. We're going to go into the passive abilities real quick. So it says here at the very top, it's under the E. So I'm going to do a long press. So this is Warrior Light. I've already maxed it out, got the passive. So it says here, this particular passive is called Dark Hero's Power. When after using Shiny Shield, moderately increased bravery. So this is skill 1. And it says here on the bottom, slightly increases brave damage dealt with throw buckler. That's skill 2. So basically these dark weapons here. So we're going to get back out of here real quick. So we're going to go back into view mode. So And I'm going to let this bad boy up really quickly. So basically what these dark weapons do for the dark mannequins, they just increase the first 2 skill sets. These stats are freaking good. So if you're missing a 50 CP weapon for one of the protagonists, this is freaking awesome. This is something you will not regret. So that's that on that. So like I said, you guys got a treat. You actually saw me do some gameplay. So, with that out of the way, what do I think about all of this? Now, with the whole thing with Locke, like I said back in Alisaie's Lost Chapter, to take that information above with a grain of salt, it appears that Global has had some poor foresight. Since they've known that the whole thing with Locke was coming up, it was poor timing of that little message in yellow above Alisaie's Lost Chapter, because if you knew something was coming up and you put something else in there anyway, it's poor foresight. Some people could very well interpret that as false advertising. And that is it's a very illegal move in the sense of law stuff. You don't want to advertise something that you don't follow through with it. Because some people would be like, okay, you said this, but why are you not following through with it? So that's the only thing I have a bit of a quote-unquote rant about it, but again, I want to say this sounds like poor foresight on the end of the global developers. It's like, if you knew something was coming up, you should not have had that wording in there. Because honestly, I am a bit confused. And I'm also slightly confused about why, after the maintenance, the information I need as rework is gone from the in-game news. There's something that some people will not understand. Now, with that being said, all the stuff for the Autumn Festival, I'm actually loving it. It's just that how everything is just like, you have a way to farm certain tokens. You don't have to worry about running out, and I love that. Now, when it comes down to the banners, with Start Dash, I did the freebie, and again, I did the tickets, I got Cloud's EX, but the other triple EX weapon banner. And this is a bit of a, will I be skipping? And this is outside the free multi. So for Aerith, Ace, and Sarah, that banner is going to be a surprisingly easy skip for me. Now, you're kind of wondering why. And like I said, I am excluding the free multi. So the reason why I am skipping this banner altogether is because of the following. Ace's EX weapon actually comes back in the near future. And that's with Deuce's Lost Chapter. At that point, his EX becomes EX Plus available. With Sarah, hers does come back as EX Plus. I forgot exactly when it was, but it does come back as EX Plus on a later date alongside Censor's EX coming back as EX Plus, and Vanille getting her rework. She supposedly gets her rework and something at that time as well. But don't quote me on it. So yeah, so the thing is with Vanille, hers does come back as an EX Plus alongside Sarah and Censor. Although Sarah and Censor have to have some rework on them already. Aerith, I'm not a fan of her. Plus, there are other units I'm going after with my resources in the future. One of them being Ultimisia, another being Fang, and the third is coming up later on this month being Realm. So it's one of those I'm already saving for other units. I just don't want to put myself in a situation where I'm always pitying everybody. And with the resources you see on the screen right now, I actually have enough to pity pool 5 EX weapons. If it goes there, Realm being one of them, Fang being another, Ultimisia being the third, Lilyset being the fourth, and Sephiroth being the fifth. So I already have 5 banners I can pity pool if I felt like it, and I have enough for a free multi in the end. So that's where I'm going to end this video. Like I said, I was surprised to showcase the gameplay for the 5.8. So this may serve up as a correction of sorts. We'll see. And that's that on that, and I will catch you all on the flip side.